Marines are renowned for their fighting prowess, but did you know that they have their own system of hand-to-hand combat? Close quarter fighting strategies, Marine Corps beliefs, and a variety of distinct styles is the MCMAP, or the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. In particular, when there are no weapons around, you should always be prepared to fight. In actuality, you are the weapon, so it's exactly like your neighborhood dojo. Nope, it might be a little different though. Without further ado, let's see what it is. The United States Marine Corps developed the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program as a special fighting style for its members. The MCMAP program teaches U.S. Navy personnel who are attached to Marine units as well as Marines, and it was formally formed by Marine Corps Order 1500.54a. The curriculum includes instruction in rifle and bayonet tactics, as well as instruction in unarmed combat and the use of homemade weapons. Although it's thought of as a distinct discipline, MCMAP heavily borrows from a number of different martial arts. It includes a variety of fighting techniques. They are the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Wrestling, Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu, Savate, Kickboxing, Ishin Ryu Karate, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, Kung Fu, Iaido, Kendo, Aikido, Capoeira, Sambo, Hapkido, Eskrima, Sayak, Kali, Jujutsu, Krav Maga, and Kobudo. By utilizing a variety of strategies with varying levels of lethality, MCMAP enables the user to choose the ideal level of force. Yes, MCMAP was developed by combining distinct combat techniques that have been developed throughout the world. But keep in mind that specific battle strategies were taken from each and modified for use by Marines. The program's aim is to foster in students values like leadership in addition to improving combat effectiveness. The MCMAP motto, "One mind, any weapon," is predicated on having a combat mindset, the capacity to appraise the circumstance, take appropriate action, and be lethal with any weapon, including the MCMAP refers to as weapons of opportunity. MCMAP students learn 17 distinct fight techniques that have been mixed with Marine Corps ideals, but they also have the option to advance through different belt levels and eventually become instructors if they so want to. Additionally, Marines receive training in moral and mental exercises, in addition to practical mano-a-mano methods, just like many advantages of karate that extend beyond combat skills. Along with hand-to-hand combat skills, competitive team workouts like calisthenics, log carries, and boxing contests help to build strength and stamina. Since the beginning of the Marine Corps in 1775, when Marines frequently fought in confined areas aboard ships, it might be argued that training in close quarters combat with knives and bayonets has been a tradition. Prior to World War I, Marine boarding teams aiming to seize enemy ships were armed with sabers and bayonets. But as terrible trench warfare spread, Marines started using the unarmed fighting strategies to gain the upper hand. Following World War I, those tactics were codified based on boxing, wrestling, savate, and fencing. Kung Fu methods were taught to officers by Chinese American Marines who also shared their expertise. Miller's Combat Curriculum, a curriculum based on a variety of martial arts disciplines including Okinawa Karate, was created by Gunnery Sergeant Bill Miller in 1956. These methods subsequently evolved into line system in the early 1980s, which later gave way to the Marine Corps Close Combat Training Program in the late 1990s. The line system, which was focused exclusively on becoming as harmful as possible in the fight, was a result of the diverse combat systems that had previously been used. Ultimately though, the Marine Corps saw the necessity for hand-to-hand combat training that could be applied in both lethal and non-lethal situations, which led to the creation of the MCMAP system. The rest, as they say, is history. A few years later, MCMAP was formally established. Instead of attempting to invent the wheel, the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program wants to create the best battle fighters it can. As a result, learning MCMAP imparts a number of skills that are helpful in mixed martial arts. The military has been training service personnel in martial arts-based tactics for approximately 100 years, even though the curriculum has only been around for 20 years. In reality, only approximately a third of training in MCMAP consists of combat methods. Karate extends well beyond the physical, as any fighter in karate combat will attest. Candidates enroll in classes to aid in their mental and moral development in addition to their physical development. Topics covered include teamwork, commitment, courage, and leadership. Warrior Studies, another component of the curriculum, teaches pupils the basics of combat techniques by looking at famous warriors and communities that have a history of producing warriors, such as the Spartans and the Apache. Combative behavior is another area of emphasis where Marines learn about interpersonal aggression, rules of engagement, and the appropriate use of force. Training does not end when the belt is obtained. It's not unusual to hear junior Marines talking trash about Marine foo, but those who do tend to be in possession of belts that are definitely in the junior range. This is due to a very straightforward reason. MCMAP is designed to be a compounding discipline, in which you learn the foundations of more advanced techniques when you reach those junior level belts. At Marine Corps Recruit Depot, you'll get your tan entry-level belt before crossing the parade belt. Gray, green, brown, and black make up the other belt tiers going up. The tan belt syllabus emphasizes on learning the principles of fighting, as well as the foundational knowledge needed to advance to more fighting, as well as the foundational knowledge needed to advance to more advanced skills later on in the MCMAP system. Tan belts complaining that MCMAP failed to teach them how to fight are similar to white belts in any other discipline who have the similar grievance. In MCMAP, a black belt has 6 different degrees, similar to other martial arts. You're still not finished though. Even after climbing the belt ladder, no matter whether you have a green, brown, or black belt, you haven't fully mastered the subject. It denotes that you have proven your mastery of each technique and the related teachings and are now ready to go on to the next level of instruction for that unit. Even a black belt is useless if you don't train consistently. The candidate must demonstrate understanding of the previous belt by using 5 of the previously taught techniques in addition to the new ones. The testing evaluation is failed by the student if they use any of the 5 approaches wrong. The pupil must score 80% in order to earn a gray belt. Note that they are only allowed to fail 10 techniques. Before retaking a test, a student must wait at least 24 hours after failing the initial one. Obtaining a green belt is necessary for infantry Marines. Even a gray belt will do. Normally, you'll be directed to practice MCMAP if a commander notices a gap in the training plan and the armory is too crowded to have you wait in line for 3 hours. By the end of the first pre-deployment training cycle, most grunts have earned their gray belt. Some golfers must achieve their green by the end of their second. The Marine Arts instructors come in a variety of forms. One of the most well-trained fighters in the Corps is a MCMAP black belt instructor trainer. As part of a rigorous 15-day training rotation where Marines will be required to demonstrate their competence in a number of ways, earning a red tab on your belt entails mastering every MCMAP skill. You must enroll in the rigorous martial arts instructor course in order to become a martial arts instructor. Attending the more difficult advanced martial arts instructor trainer course is a requirement to become a martial arts instructor trainer. Your soul will not be the same whichever way you choose. The main difference is a standard martial arts instructor can train other Marines to belt up, while a martial arts instructor trainer can train a Marine whose belt is at least green to become an instructor. Studying the warrior mentality and realizing that fighting involves more than just punching your opponent in the face is another goal of the MCMAP program. Like many other martial arts styles, MCMAP goes way beyond just teaching students how to fight. In actuality, according to MCMAP, the physical component of the discipline makes up only 1/3 of the total, with equal importance put on education and fostering a strong moral character. In addition to teaching you fighting techniques you'll need, MCMAP aims to make you into an ethical warrior. And that way, MCMAP fully embodies the devotion, courage, and honor that are the cornerstones of the Marine Corps. Although there are several disparate viewpoints of the program, it's crucial to realize that its effectiveness depends entirely on the person using it. Even after receiving the tan belt, if you weren't much of a fighter before learning MCMAP, you won't be much better either. No matter the discipline, earning a black belt does not alter who you are. Discipline, ethics, and combat skills are taught in MCMAP, but using them effectively requires practice and moral integrity. If you require evidence of the benefits martial arts can offer, have a look at the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, which is supported by the US government. You'll be more dangerous than the opponent anticipated if you use the efficient strategies you learn in MCMAP.